Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and on this channel, I'm sharing our journey of learning how to turn our home into a homestead. Today is the day that we are going to actually be starting our starts. I've already started the onions, and I'll show you that a little bit later. And then earlier today, my husband planted all of our peppers and a couple of other little miscellaneous things. So I'm just going to show you what he's already planted. I'm going to show you the varieties and things like that. And then we're gonna move on and we're gonna get started on the tomatoes. So I got poblano, a Thai red chili pepper, a cayenne long thin, buena mulata, a Chinese 5 color, that one, something. Apocalypse scorpion, shishito, an Ozark giant, a Hungarian yellow hot pepper, a chocolate beauty sweet pepper, a hot jalapeno, Anaheim chili. Most of these ones are hot. We definitely prefer hot peppers. I don't like sweet peppers at all. My husband likes them, but we both just prefer the hot peppers, so we grow a lot of hot peppers. Oh, I didn't read that one. Ancho grande hot pepper, Serrano Tampicano, sorry, and then Big Jim hot pepper, and a Cardi West Indies red. No picture on that one. And then we also planted, just to fill up the trays that we were actually using, we planted the Tamarillo, Tomatillo. We had a Baker Creek and then also an M.I. Gardner, so I planted 2 of each. And then a Tess Landrace currant, red Centiflora tomato, white cherry tomato, and an orange currant tomato. All of these ones, these tomatoes, we planted 1 of these. We planted 2 of everything in each cell. And so we planted 2 seeds of these, but in 1 cell. And then we planted 2 cells of these each, 4 of these, because it says on here it doesn't say it on here, but it basically says that it can be pretty picky. It says it's supposed to be kept between 70 to 85, and you have to keep it the soil wet, or moist. So I'm just planting 4 of those just to make sure. And then with all of the peppers, most of these ones we planted 2 of them, 2 cells. And then, but with the, which ones? With the Apocalypse Scorpion, and then this one we planted 4 of them. And that's just to make sure that we have enough odds of getting some good ones. So Robert got all of those ones planted earlier, and he planted them in these things here. These are the trays that we have. So, and I have 3 more of these set up and ready to go, and we're gonna plant all of our tomatoes. So I have it worked out almost exactly. I have 67 varieties, I think it was, or 66 varieties of tomatoes that we're gonna start. And this handful, we're gonna do 1 of each, and then this handful, we're gonna do 2 of each. And so, the 1 of each is gonna be the pork chop, black cherry, the Tiffin Mennonite, pineapple tomato, black from Tula, Cherokee purple, black Vernissage, whatever, tomato carbon, black plum, Ukraine purple, old German, green zebra, great white, chocolate stripes, hillbilly, big rainbow, and Amana. There we go. So those ones, I'm gonna do 1 of each. And then these ones, we're gonna do two of each. And the thing that I used to actually make it so that I could figure out which one was gonna be 1 versus 2 is space. I had to dwindle it down enough because I don't have enough of the actual those that will fit under my lights. So that was what determined that. And we definitely we like the cherry tomatoes for eating out of hand in the garden. And then also the other thing was just being able to preserve them and having them not be quite as, just the preservability of the tomato, I guess, is another thing that determined that. So for the double tomatoes, we have Hartman's Yellow Gooseberry, Gobstopper, Gold Nugget, blueberries, blue goldberries, blue creamberries, Isis Candy Cherry, Napa Chardonnay, Pink Bumblebee, Purple Bumblebee, Sunrise Bumblebee, Brad's Atomic Grape, Black Creme, I don't know why that one made it in, but it did. Beefsteak tomato, San Marzano, Principe Borscht, Amish paste, Cosmic Eclipse. This one's not a good canning one, but I've grown this before and I really like it, so it got two. Some kind of a peach tomato, Whipsicon, Triple Crop, Sweetie, Sun Globe, Silvery Fir, Sheboygan, Aroma, Quadro, Pink Oxide, Paul Robeson, Opolka, Marion, Japanese Black Trifle, Homestead, Mariglobe, Mortgage Lifter, Federal, delicious tomato, Brandywine Yellow, Brandywine Red, Pink, and Black, Boxcar Willie, Bonnie's Best, Black Seaman, Azoichka, Abe Lincoln, and Berkeley Tie-Dye. So those are all the ones that I'm going to be planting 2 of. And so now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to make tags for all of these things. I need to make, I think it's 108 different tags. I already made all the tags for all the peppers. Those things are all ready, good to go. It ended up being 2 flats of those. It was like a flat and a half of peppers, and then with those other things that I had mentioned, those made up the difference. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna make up tags for all of these, and then I'm gonna bring you back when we're ready to actually start planting these things, and I'll show you what I'm doing for planting. I am definitely not an expert. This is the first time I've done gardening of any sort of grand scale beyond just maybe 1 or 2 of those 1040 trays. So I'm just trying to figure out how to do this myself. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing so that maybe next year we can improve and you guys can give me some advice, and I can maybe show you guys some things that you didn't know. We'll see how it goes. All right, so now that we actually have all of the tags made up, I think that took me almost 2 hours. I don't know why that took me so long, but it did. Probably could have taken me half the time if I only wrote on one side of the thing, but I just wanted to, I plan on keeping these with each of the tomatoes for the life of the tomato, so I just want to make sure I can read it from both sides, and what if one side gets smudged? I just figured it would be a little bit easier in the long run to take the time now to write on both sides. We'll see. It might just, oh no. Okay, So since I have so many of these, let's see if I can do this. Since I have so many of these stickers, or these things, and I'm planting so many, I went ahead and just did them all in order and kept these in order as well. So I know that the first one here is going to be the first tomato here. So hopefully that will help me to be able to plant them a little bit easier in these cells that I have here. So what I have here, I just got these in the mail actually. These are, I can't pull them out. Anyways, these are from Bootstrap Farmer. And you can see here, these are kind of the newer ones. And these ones are amazing. They're like super hardy. You can't really, I mean, squeeze them pretty hard. And they don't, you know, they're just great. And then I have the same of these things I showed you earlier. I mean, these things are pretty tough. I love these things. So anyways, what we're gonna do with these is we're just gonna plant, obviously. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to go up and down the rows and I'm gonna plant. I'm gonna do two to each cell just to make sure that I have enough to actually grow. Because I mean, this one package has, oh, this one only has 10. I might be a little bit skimpy with this one. Nope. I just want to make sure that I have enough. Come on. Okay. So I'm just going to plant them kind of far. Maybe like an inch away from each other. This one's stuck. There we go. So there we go. That one's good. How do I want to do this? Kind of want to do it like that. Okay. So all I'm going to do with this one is I'm just going to do that all the way up and down each one. And then when I get to the end, I'm going to sprinkle some of the dried Jiffy mix on top, wet it in, and that's all I'm going to do. So let's do this, shall we? This is going to take forever because it hasn't already, right? This is going to take me a while. See, it's 10:02 right now. So I'll bring you back when I'm done. I'll probably bring you in a little bit closer so you can actually see what I'm doing here, and I'll show you each step, and then I'll slow down when I get to the actual, like the Jiffy part and watering it in, show you what I'm doing with that. I'm not saying that this is the way to do it. This is just the way that I'm doing it. And like I said earlier, in, you know, probably a couple of weeks, we'll know if this is a good way to do it. And then if in, like, you know, with everything that I'm doing this season, we'll just know in a little while if it works, and then we'll polish it for next year. So this is definitely a learning year. Probably the number one thing that I'm learning is that I probably shouldn't be planting this many tomatoes and this many plants, but we're going to because I can. And I have the seeds, and I'm just going to plant them. And hopefully by the time that these are actually ready to put in the ground, I will have a place to actually put them. I'm working on building those now. I have one of them built. I just need to assemble it and fill it. And then we're just gonna go gangbusters building a bunch of raised beds. So I'm gonna show you guys that tomorrow, which is actually gonna be in a little while, but for me it's gonna be tomorrow. And I'll show you what I got. So let me bring you in so that we can speed this up. So now that we have this flat all planted, all I'm going to do is just sprinkle the top of each one with some totally dry Jiffy. Not a bunch, just enough. like I said, this is just how I'm doing it. It's not necessarily the right way. I could be totally screwing it up for all I know. We'll find out. But I have seen other people do it this way, which is why I'm doing it this way. But I'm sure that there are other ways of doing it. This is not the only way to plant a tomato. Okay, so you can kind of see I just did like a, you know, a small bit on top. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to soak it, like completely soak it. Well, first I'm going to fill it up with water. Okay, so now I'm going to soak it. Okay, so okay, so now that we have this flat all planted, I am gonna do the other 2 flats. I'm just gonna go ahead and take care of that. It's 10:30 at night, so I just need to bang this out really quick, and then I'm gonna bring you guys back in the morning, and I'm gonna show you everything with it all lit up and everything going on the seed tray thing, the seed shelf that we have going out there. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna let you go, and I will see you guys back here in the morning for all kinds of awesome stuff to show you. It's the next morning here, and I wanted to go ahead and show you the seed starting shelf that we have going on here. And basically what we have, the blue, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 7 and a half different trays going on here. And so what I have up top here, this is these are tomatoes, the orange, the green, and the, I can't think, it's too early. The green and the pink ones are tomatoes. And the blue ones are peppers. One of them is all peppers. One of them is half peppers and then half other things that need to be kept warm, like tamarillos and tomatillos and things like that. We just didn't have enough peppers to fill up 2 whole trays. And there's 32 of these per tray, not like the original 36 that I had calculated because I can't math. And so that's why we have that there on the bottom, because I had calculated it perfectly for 3 trays of 36. And it just, well, almost perfectly. I think I had 1 extra. But that's beside the point. It all worked, and it'll all work still. So I have the peppers, which are the most important things right now on the shelf for me to keep warm. I have them underneath the mats, and I know I don't need the lights yet. I do on the onions that we have down here, which I didn't mention. I had started these onions, I want to say about 2 weeks ago. Maybe a little bit less, but I did just have them over on the floor over there before I had I don't think you can see that, it's dark. But I think I had these on the floor just covered up with these domes when I had them going, and they're all different types. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 6 or 7, 6. I think I have 6 different varieties. There is varieties of onions as well as leeks. There's one type of leek, I think it's the American flag leek, and then there's 1 red onion and 3 or 4 yellow and white onions. I think there's 3 yellow and 1 white, something like that. Anyways, so all I'm gonna do with these, I know I don't need the lights on some of them. These are some Carolina Reapers that we've been Robert's been overwintering. I don't think you can see that. There it goes. It's coming. So this is these are Carolina Reapers that Robert has been tending to ever so carefully, and just doing research on trying to figure out how in our climate we can actually grow the Carolina Reapers. We don't have a greenhouse, and it seems to be doing pretty well. He started these last year. This is about a year ago. So last, like, late winter. And they were outside, and then he brought them inside for the whole winter, and he's just been tending them and caring for them. And I think he's gonna have some luck, so I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty excited to try that. I know we got one Carolina Reaper off of it, but we're just gonna keep going. It's supposed to turn into a bit of a tree almost. In climates like ours, I guess there's supposed to be kind of almost like a perennial type thing if we just bring them inside. So what we have up here are, these are just the LED, the multicolored. It's red, white, and blue. I didn't know that it would have the, I didn't know it would have all three, but I guess it does. It has red, white, and blue in there. And so I have those going on each one. There's 4 of them. One of them is hiding over here because obviously we don't need it on that top one. And once I do need it, then we'll bring it out. And I'm gonna go, I have one of these. I apologize if this video is all over the place. I don't have my little handheld thing. But I have one of these little seed trays, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up 1 or 2 more. We need to make sure that we keep the peppers nice and hot, and it'd be nice if, depending on how much they are, I might pick up a few more to keep the tomatoes nice and warm as well. So that's really all that we have started so far. I think next weekend I'm going to go ahead and start some more seeds, probably the more cold weather ones. I'm going to get some cabbages going, and yeah, just a bunch of cabbages probably. Maybe some kale. I don't actually know. Probably some kale actually, because I want to be able to feed it to my chickens. I'm not going to eat it, but my chickens will. And so it's a big day today. I'm gonna go ahead outside, and you'll see in a different video. I'm gonna finish up one of my raised beds that's gonna be for the garlic, and then I'm also gonna kind of show you guys around the back garden and kind of the new garden plan that I have going on, because we haven't been able to get the property logged in time. So I'm just gonna make do and use this front yard, some raised beds, and just go crazy out there. So thank you so much for watching as I'm planting the peppers and the tomatoes. Well, Robert planted the peppers, I planted the tomatoes, and you didn't see the pepper planting, but you saw the tomatoes, and now you see the peppers right there. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel if you are enjoying this content, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.